Epic revenge. Karma strikes when you least expect it. Payback Vault, Chapter 1. The perfect storm. Aisha sat at her desk, staring at the email that shattered her world. The promotion she had worked so hard for, staying late nights, managing impossible deadlines, and mentoring junior staff, was gone. The subject line read, "Congratulations on your promotion, Emily." Emily, her supposed best friend, had stabbed her in the back. Aisha could still remember the conversation they'd had just days before. They were at their favorite coffee shop, discussing the upcoming promotion. Emily had gushed about how Aisha was a shoo-in for the role, how she deserved it more than anyone else in the office. Aisha had trusted her. After all, they had known each other for years, climbing the corporate ladder side by side. But it was all a lie, a well-played ruse. Emily had played her cards just right, cozying up to the boss, claiming credit for Aisha's hard work, and positioning herself as the perfect candidate for the promotion. Betrayal stung deep. Aisha was not just hurt, she was furious. How could Emily do this? And worse, how could their boss, Scott, fall for such an obvious ploy? Aisha felt the injustice boiling in her veins. But there was something else there too, resolve. Emily wasn't going to get away with this. Aisha didn't want just any revenge. She wanted perfect revenge. And it wasn't going to be fast. No, this revenge would unfold slowly and meticulously, just like how Emily had wormed her way into that promotion. Chapter 2. The setup begins. Over the next few weeks, Aisha played her role as the good sport. She smiled, congratulated Emily, and even attended the promotion party, where Emily played up her new role as if she had earned it through grit and talent. Aisha clapped along with the rest of their co-workers, but inside she was plotting. First, Aisha needed information. She spent her time observing Emily's habits and weaknesses. Despite her betrayal, Emily still leaned on Aisha, just like before. Emily had never been one to take on tough projects. And now, as department head, she was out of her depth. Every time a complicated task landed on her desk, she would ask Aisha for help. Aisha obliged, but she never forgot what had been taken from her. Emily's neediness was the key to everything. One evening, Emily sent Aisha an urgent message. "Need help with a quarterly report. My numbers don't add up. Can you take a look?" Perfect. Aisha dove into the report, but instead of fixing the errors, she made them worse. She made subtle tweaks, small enough to not be caught right away, but serious enough to cause issues down the line. She even added a few figures that could be interpreted as deliberate manipulation, should someone with a sharp eye review them. Emily, as expected, barely glanced at the report before submitting it. And why would she? She trusted Aisha to do her dirty work, just as she always had. But that trust was about to be her undoing. Chapter 3. Public humiliation. 2 months later, the quarterly review came. Aisha sat in the back of the conference room, a serene expression on her face, while Emily stood nervously at the front, presenting the department's performance. Everything was going smoothly until the CFO, Mr. Ramirez, asked to see the financials. Emily, with a confident grin, pulled up the report. But as the CFO scrolled through the numbers, his face darkened. "Emily, these numbers, they don't make any sense." Emily's eyes widened. Let me take a look. I'm sure it's just a formatting issue." "No, mister." Ramirez cut her off. "This looks like deliberate misreporting. Did you alter these figures?" His voice carried a sharp edge. The room grew silent. Aisha could feel the eyes of her co-workers turning toward Emily. Panic spread across her face as she tried to regain control, stammering excuses. I must have made a mistake. Maybe someone in the department." "You signed off on these numbers," Mr. Ramirez said coldly. "This is serious, Emily. We'll need to investigate further." The humiliation was unbearable to watch, even for Aisha. Emily's career was teetering on the edge of collapse, and all she could do was flounder. She didn't know yet, but the worst was still to come. Chapter 4. The social media fallout. The day after the disastrous meeting, things took a darker turn. Aisha had set her next trap, social media payback. Emily was the kind of person who loved flaunting her life on social media. Her Instagram was filled with pictures of luxury brunches, rooftop parties, and corporate boss life captions. It was easy for Aisha to gather material. Using an anonymous account, Aisha started leaking subtle, damaging posts. First, it was a series of comments implying that Emily had been lying about her qualifications and faking success. Wasn't it weird how Emily got that promotion out of nowhere? Heard she backstabbed her friend to get it, one post read. Another one revealed rumors about her questionable ethics in the office. Slowly but surely, a toxic narrative about Emily began to form online. At first, Emily shrugged off the comments as jealous haters. But then, the anonymous messages started leaking emails. Private exchanges between Emily and the boss surfaced, showing how she had taken credit for projects that weren't hers, how she had manipulated meetings to undermine Aisha and others. The real bombshell came when a private conversation between Emily and Scott was leaked, one that suggested their relationship wasn't entirely professional. It hinted at inappropriate behavior that crossed the line of workplace ethics. Within hours, Emily's reputation was in tatters. The company HR department launched an investigation. Employees gossiped behind her back, and soon even her friends in the office distanced themselves. She was now completely alone. Chapter 5, Karma Strikes Back. By the time the HR investigation concluded, Emily's career was beyond saving. The department's losses under her leadership, combined with the PR disaster caused by the leaked emails, left the company no choice. She was terminated. Her public fall from grace was swift and brutal, but for Aisha, the true satisfaction came in the form of poetic justice. What Emily didn't know was that the final nail in her coffin was the quarterly report, the one Aisha had sabotaged herself. The CFO's investigation found not just incompetence, but evidence of intentional manipulation of the department's finances, all signed by Emily. While she had unknowingly sealed her own fate, Aisha stood back, unseen, the architect of it all. The office buzzed with the fallout. Emily disappeared from the company's group chats, and her once busy Instagram went dark. No more brunches, no more rooftop selfies, just silence. But did Aisha feel victorious? At first, yes. The sweet taste of revenge was undeniable. She had taken back what was hers, exposing Emily for the fraud she was. But as time passed, the satisfaction slowly faded. The office had changed too. With Emily gone, a sense of unease lingered. Everyone knew something had happened, but no one knew just how far Aisha had gone. Chapter 6, The Twist. Months later, Aisha sat in her new office, the promotion now hers, just as it should have been from the start. Yet as she looked out the window, she found herself wondering, had she gone too far? Emily's betrayal had been painful, but had Aisha truly needed to destroy her so completely? The question haunted her at night. Karma had indeed come for Emily, but now Aisha couldn't shake the feeling that it had changed her too. Was the price of revenge worth it? Or had Aisha lost something of herself in the process? What do you think? Did Aisha's revenge go too far, or was it justified after what Emily did to her? Comment below and let us know if karma was served. If you love watching epic revenge stories like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss our next Payback Vault episode, where karma strikes again in the most unexpected ways.